Good afternoon, and welcome. My name is Phoebe Young, and I am the chair of the Department of History. And just a year ago, also a proud parent of a graduating senior here at CU. So I know how special a moment this is. It's a bit nostalgic for me as well, but hey, he's gainfully employed. And I am thrilled to share this with you as we support our 2026 graduates. We are also thrilled to come home to this beautiful amphitheater, the Mary Ribbon Theater. The history department has been in exile from Helms since the spring of 2023. For most of you graduating with your BA, that was maybe the end of your first year, and finally you got to return. We're so grateful to be out of the rat maze that was Munzinger, the psychology building, to return this year to this beautiful renovated new building, the first time it's been renovated since the 1930s. The Colorado Shakespeare Festival will also return out here this summer, but we get to celebrate here first. It does tend to get a little warm, so do know that there is water and other beverages in the back, so please take advantage when you need. And so as we begin, let me share some gratitude to a few sets of people who make today possible. First, this ceremony is the result of a lot of work and planning by our amazing history department staff, Ted Lytle, Charisse Lamore, and Kelly Matthews. Please join me in thanking them, not just for today, but for every day as they keep this department running. And also, thank you to Brian Luck, who is filming this ceremony, and this will be available on our website probably next week, as well as our undergraduate and graduate volunteers. If you need any help there, most of them are wearing the black history department t-shirts, and you can ask them whatever you need. I'd also like to acknowledge these folks sitting behind me, my colleagues in the funny robes, looking like psychedelic escapees from Hogwarts, our faculty. These folks have not only taught the classes and graded the papers and made the degrees you will get today possible, but have also worked tirelessly on a host of other issues behind the scenes, developing our curriculum, recruiting new students to CU to study history, advising student groups and clubs and theses, writing recommendation letters, doing cutting-edge research and writing books and articles and producing databases, and much more. Two faculty I'd like to call out this afternoon to honor who won campus-wide awards for their teaching this year. Natalie Mendoza won the BFA Teaching Award. And Sungyun Lim won an award for an exceptional graduate mentor. And importantly, I want to recognize you, the family members and friends who are here to support those graduating and to cheer them on today, just as you have been doing all of these past years. Parents, grandparents, children, partners, extended family, and friends of our graduates, you deserve so many thanks for all that you do. So graduates, please stand and turn around and give your people a big round of applause. And now, graduates, for whom we gather to celebrate this significant achievement, and that all of your loved ones have assembled here to honor you and watch you walk across the stage to collect this leatherette case that doesn't have an actual diploma in it, but will soon. Congratulations to you, the class of 2026. And so it is for you that over the next 2.5 hours, I'd like to share a few thoughts before we get to the main event. I have 3 quotations for you. Citations are in the footnotes. Chicago style, of course. Number 1, history doesn't repeat itself, but sometimes it rhymes. Mark Twain. You know that history does not, in fact, repeat itself, that it is complicated. It is not formulaic. It is not predictable like a math equation or a law of physics. That context matters. But because you are a history major, or a doctor of history, or masters of history, people will ask you about this all the time. So here's your warning. This is a burden that comes with being conferred this designation as a historian. You study the past, and people will ask you to predict the future. An impossible task, even in ordinary times. So don't try. Instead, you can tell them that people in the past have faced challenging questions that sound very similar to the ones we confront in our own time. How do we maintain rights of the individual and forge a common destiny? How do we share prosperity and distribute pain? How do we balance progress and tradition? But these questions cannot be answered for once or for all. They have and will keep coming back. Every generation has to figure out a new set of answers for itself, for a new time. 2, hope is an axe. Rebecca Solnit. Another piece of wisdom you have gleaned from the study of history is that inevitable is kind of a 4-letter word, or at least a cop-out, a weak explanation of causality. We have to account for human actions as contingent, events as uncertain, and futures as changeable. If there is an arc of history, and if it might indeed bend toward justice, we know that it doesn't do so inevitably or all by itself. It does so through actions, through hopes. Rebecca Solnit is a historian and a journalist, and she calls us to do the hard work of hope. Hope, she says, is not sitting on the couch, holding a lottery ticket with your fingers crossed. It is not a passive wish that things will just get better. Instead, she says, hope is an axe you break down doors with in an emergency. Hope accepts that we don't know what will happen, and that in the space of uncertainty is room to act. Hope is an embrace of the unknown and the unknowable. It is the belief that what we do matters, even though how and when it may matter are not things we can always know beforehand. You and I, we know that history is full of people who acted not knowing, not always living to see the outcome, but who hoped and acted and persisted nonetheless. History teaches us that there is always space to act, so lean into the hope of uncertainty and use that axe. 3. Courage is being scared to death, but saddling up anyway. John Wayne. We tend to think that courage means being unafraid, but I've always liked this sense that it is about acting in the face of, or even hand in hand with that fear. And it would be hard to argue that the world you are now inheriting holds nothing to fear. A vigorous civic nation and civil world, tolerant of difference within and without, that can reckon with multiple belief sets in productive ways and generate a sense of social solidarity while protecting individual freedoms, able to leap tall challenges and solve climate crises at a single bound, would be a wonderful place to live. But the history you've wrestled with here reminds not only of how difficult it has been and will be to work towards that society, but it is in the struggle towards our ideals that they become real. And you know what can give you a little courage? What can be a great tool to have in your back pocket when you face those struggles? History. It is an incredible tool for the present. The world needs you. You who are trained in the valuable skills of historical thinking, you who can use and help others to use rational debate and rigorous research, skills of inquiry, analysis, questioning, and empathy, the ability to relate to each other and to our past, both what we share and our different experiences. Whatever you go on to do in what I hope will be marvelous full lives, please keep using your historical skills. Few people study history at the adult level. You are among those few. Appreciate how hard you worked, struggled, wrestled with new concepts and facts and skills and ways of learning. So I want to thank you for your work, for your questions, for your energy, your persistence at learning. Thank you for your ongoing contributions to our community, your engagement with this institution and your worlds. You are why I and so many of us do what we do. We hope you keep asking questions of the past, subjecting sources in the present to scrutiny and analysis, to be historians of your own time, of your own generation. You've spent time studying how people in the past tried to answer those challenging questions historically, differently, and sometimes courageously. How we answer them in the coming decades will be something you get to start taking the lead on from those of us in older generations, from whom you've probably heard complaints and worries about these kids today. I tell them, I see you every day, 30 weeks a year, and I'm not worried. From what I've seen, I strongly believe that your generation is more than up to this challenge. So pull on your boots, put your history superpowers in one packet, and your hope in another, saddle up, and ride on. Because you got this, class of 2026. Let's go, history buffs! All right. Now we're on to the main event. We will begin by recognizing our undergraduate honors thesis prize winners. And to do that, I'd like to introduce our honors director, Professor Paul Hammer.
It is my privilege to recognize this year's winners of the honors thesis prize. Every student who earns Latin honors is required to write a substantial thesis that explores an original topic or question. This is a very demanding task. It is very different from writing just a much longer version of a typical undergraduate essay. Over the course of a year or more, honours students wrestle with their material and learn how to research and write about a topic on the edge of existing historical scholarship. All of our honours graduates today deserve to be recognised for the immense amount of work which they put into writing their theses and the way in which they all rose to the challenge and succeeded. However, two of these honours theses really stand out for the technical and intellectual difficulties inherent in their topics and for the masterful way in which they analyse their sources and explain their findings. The Joint winners of this year's Honours Thesis Prize are, in alphabetical order, Abigail Kilgore, whose thesis is entitled Stitching Civilization, Indigenous Girls, Mission Schools and Needlework in the Early 19th Century, and Lexi LeBlanc, whose thesis is entitled Knut, Meet Hrothgar, the Danish Conquest and the 11th Century Beowulf.
To recognize the winners of our other undergraduate prizes, and to do that, I will now introduce Professor Matthew Gerber, our Director of Undergraduate Studies.
Thank you, Phoebe. Before I start handing out the prizes, I just want to say it's been a true honor and privilege to teach you fine young students, and I'm grateful to be able to share this moment with all of you supportive parents and family, so thank you for being here. The Philip Mitterling Prize is named after a former professor in the history department, and it's awarded annually for, quote, the best paper, excluding honors theses, written by a history major or minor for a history course at the University of Colorado Boulder. This year, confronted with an exceptionally strong array of nominees, our Undergraduate Studies Committee collectively chose 2 essays to share the prize. Both papers were written for sections of History 3020, Historical Thinking and Writing, our gateway seminar that we require of all our majors to take in the sophomore or junior year in order to learn the true craft of historical thinking and writing. The first paper examines the significant role played by women in a series of anti-colonial Indian protests concerning salt production within Mahatma Gandhi's broader nonviolent movement for resistance against British imperialism in the 1930s. It is entitled Salt and Sex, Women's Necessity in the Salt Satyagraha, and it was written by Quinlan Anderson. Quinlan, if you're here, coming up. Traces changes in the life of the Kiowa indigenous people by tracing changing representations of horses in Kiowa art, revealing how visual images, as well as words, can be a means for remembering the past. It is entitled Cultural Narratives and Remembered Histories, 19th and 20th Century Kiowa Art, and it is by Joe Axel. I don't believe Joe is here today, so, but let's give her a round of applause. Before I hand out this year's service award, I did want to commend and give thanks to 3 of our undergraduate students, Daniel Vallet, Emma Samori, and Sophie Kleppner. Or if you're here, please stand up. So these 3 students were our pioneering undergraduate peer guides. We've established this program to create upper division students who are willing to volunteer some of their time to be mentors to incoming students and students in their first and second years to help guide them through the labyrinth and complexities of the history major. Professor Young mentioned before, we used to be over in Munzinger, the psychology building. A student once asked me, why is it so complex here? And I had to explain, we're the mice, right? But seriously, navigating the requirements of the history major is often a challenging task. We're in the process of trying to simplify them, but these fine students have helped us pioneer this program of peer guidance in that context, and so I just wanted to thank them for their service. Thanks. Finally, the James Field Willer Award is given annually to a history major who has distinguished themselves through service related to history. This year's recipient has demonstrated such service in a variety of ways, by serving as our departmental student ambassador, through their leadership as the president of the Undergraduate History Club, and through their guidance as editor-in-chief of our undergraduate history journal, The Colorado Historian. This year's winner is Ella Madden. Thank you.
And we'll now begin the awarding of degrees today with our graduate degrees, both doctoral and master's degrees. And before I hand it over to Professor Myles Osborne, our Director of Graduate Studies, we have to start with a little bit of choreography. So when your name is called, please come up the stairs, mind the tree, stand in the general vicinity while your advisor says some nice things about you, and then you come over to collect your diploma cover from me, and then you're going to head out the back, right? Trevor, y'all know Trevor, go find Trevor, and then all the way back around to your seat. This is your last task as a teaching assistant, so model, lead the way. With that, Myles.
Thank you, Phoebe, and good afternoon, everyone. As Phoebe has pointed out, my name is Myles Osborne. I'm Director of Graduate Studies here at the History Department. It is not the reason that I get to wear a pink bathrobe here today. That is quite unrelated. But I will say that in my 18 years at CU Boulder on the faculty, there have been few tasks that I have undertaken more enjoyable than working with our graduate students. They are a collective of warm, articulate, thoughtful people, and I wish them the very best in the future moving forward. Now, the way that this works with our 4 graduates today is that I'm going to call out their name, they will stand here, and I will then invite their advisor up to give a short synopsis of the type of research that they have been undertaking. So we'll start, in that case, with Isabella Montero, with her faculty advisor, Professor Thomas Andrews.
All right, good afternoon. Isabella Montero joined our master's program after receiving her undergraduate degree at Black Hills State University. Bella, who is a proud citizen of the Ogallala Lakota Nation, specialized in Western U.S., environmental, and especially Native American history. Her graduate work with us culminated with a deeply researched, compellingly written, and smartly conceived thesis entitled The Last of His Race, Parallel Views of Native Americans and Bison at the 1893 Chicago World's Fair. What I especially appreciated about Bella's thesis was the insightful ways in which she compares and contrasts Lakota ontologies regarding bison, a creature that Lakota people continue to see, not simply as a staff of life, but also as a relative, as well as a nation unto themselves, with white Americans' perceptions of the same animals as destined to diminish and even disappear altogether as settler colonists invaded indigenous homelands and attempted to turn them into American heartlands. Since wrapping up her degree requirements in the fall, Bella has been working in Rapid City, South Dakota as a curatorial assistant at the Journey Museum, which exposes visitors to the lands, cultures, and histories of the Black Hills. Bella, I'm incredibly proud of the work you've done here at CU Boulder, and I'm filled with excitement about the road ahead of you.
Master of Arts is Casey Ringer, and I would ask her faculty advisor, Professor Miriam Cardia, to join me here, please.
I also had the pleasure of working with Casey as an undergraduate, and for her undergraduate thesis, but today I'll tell you about her master's thesis, which was entitled The Order of Empires, Japanese and American Law, Administration, and Occupation in Micronesia, 1885 to 1994, which was based on archival research in our collections here at CU Boulder, collections that I myself have not yet investigated. The thesis examines the development of Japanese and U.S. imperial structures in the islands of the South Pacific that came under Japanese control in the early 20th century, and then American sovereignty after World War II. By synthesizing the high politics of international law with local administrative histories, the thesis argues that Japanese and American imperialisms were not animated by competing ideologies, like past scholars have said, but rather grounded in the European legal tradition. So Casey traces a continuous through line from the internationalism established in the 1885 Berlin Conference to the creation of the League of Nations mandate to regulate Japanese sovereignty in the 1920s, to the United Nations trusteeships under which the islands are governed today. And her study demonstrates that these international frameworks rebranded rather than uprooted colonial paradigms, while Japan's administration of Micronesia manifested as a patchwork of sovereignties to manage diverse island demographics. The United States regulated the islands as a series of linked military bases intended to support Cold War aims in the Pacific. So ultimately, the thesis reveals the central paradox of internationalism, namely that conditions for indigenous sovereignty were intentionally structured to justify perpetual occupation. Congratulations, Casey.
Congratulations, Casey. We now move to the first of our two PhD candidates, and I would like to please invite up Kim Jackson and her faculty advisor, Professor Thomas Andrews.
It's me again. Kim Jackson entered our PhD program with an undergraduate math degree, right? Yeah. As well as a master's in history from the University of North Texas. Over the past, let's say 7 years, 6.5 years, I've had the pleasure of watching Kim develop into a strong scholar and highly skilled teacher, even if her love of Texas sports teams sometimes leads me to question her good sense. Kim's superb dissertation. Is that an Astros shout out there? Is that your family? Yeah. Well, I would have expected nothing less. Kim's superb dissertation, Moral Obligation to Our Farmers, Food and Farm Policies in the First World War Era, investigates how domestic considerations, particularly the political pressure that American farmers exercised via the agricultural press, farmers' organizations, and the farm lobby, shaped U.S. food aid between World War I and the late 1920s. Her project demonstrates that interwar developments laid the groundwork for the better-known farm programs of the New Deal, as well as the food aid policies of World War II and the Cold War. Kim breaks new ground by tracing the origins of these programs to Herbert Hoover. And if any of you want to know anything about Herbert Hoover, ask Kim after graduation. She's become sort of a Hoover expert. Anyway, she traces the origins of these to Herbert Hoover and two relief organizations he oversaw, the Committee for Relief in Belgium and the American Relief Administration. I'm thrilled to say that Kim Jackson will be taking her talents to Utah Valley University, where she will begin a tenure-track position in U.S. history this fall. For that, and for so many other reasons, I feel very fortunate indeed to have gotten the opportunity to mentor Kim and shepherd her through our doctoral program and see all the ways in which she's grown since she's been here at CU Boulder. So very, very proud of you, Kim.
Our final graduate today is somebody that I'm personally delighted to be conferring this degree on, given that I taught her as an undergraduate, as a graduate student, and in fact taught one of her siblings a number of times as well. I'd like to invite her, please, Vi Boulder and her advisor, Phoebe Young.
If you need to stop an asteroid, you call Superman. If you need to solve a mystery, you call Batman. But if you need to end a war, call Wonder Woman. And if you need a vividly written, deeply researched history about a pop culture icon, you call Viola Relu. Vi's dissertation, Mothers of the Code, Comics, Censorship, and Cultural Maternalism in Mid-Century America, digs into an episode often written off as an anomaly, the censorship of comic books in the 1950s, to trace its powerful reverberations throughout post-war culture, politics, and religion. She painstakingly located and contextualized the stories of the 7 original censors of the Comics Code Authority, 6 of whom were women, and whose public and archival presence was nearly made invisible, hidden behind misspelled names and misfiled papers. She pairs this work with close and insightful visual analyses of comics themselves, looking at how depictions of Wonder Woman, her body, her powers, her life goals, changed in response to the power these women wielded as censors. On the one hand, Vi's research shows the narrowing of female representation in what was a hyper-accessible popular medium during a time in which gender roles were in flux, from the Rosie the Riveters of World War II through the TV moms of the 1950s and 60s. On the other, she discovers fragments that survived in the margins of censorship regimes that later provided seeds for rediscovery by new generations of readers. And I am confident that her work will find a wide readership of its own. Probably the only graduate student I'll ever had to have given a presentation at Comic-Con. It has been one of the great joys of my professional career to work with you, Vi. You should be very proud of this achievement. And now, we will move on to the awarding of the Bachelor of Arts degrees. And again, I will call up Professor Matthew Gerber to read the names of our graduates. Again, a little choreography. This is your final test. Follow what your graduate student TAs did, but you're going to want to come up to Dr. Gerber, hand him your card, and then once he reads your name, you will walk across the stage to collect the diploma cover, and again, all the way around to the back. Questions? Need to talk to your neighbor? No? All right, Professor Gerber.
Thank you. Can people hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. It's okay, I'll project. Is that now? Better? Yeah. So come on up. While they're lining up, I just want to again reiterate what a privilege it is to see them all graduating today. As students of history, they know things change. That's one of the things we focus on. In good times, that can be somewhat of a grim lesson, knowing that the things that we're enjoying might not last. But in difficult times, I think, to echo Professor Young, it's also a point of optimism that maybe things can change for the better. So again, thank you all for being here, and we'll proceed. Abigail Marie Kilgore, Bachelor of Arts in History, summa cum laude with distinction, co-winner of the Honors Prize. Alexa Rose LeBlanc, Bachelor of History, summa cum laude with distinction, co-winner of the Honors Thesis Prize. Quinlan Atlee Anderson, Bachelor of Arts in History with distinction, Middling Paper Prize winner. Brianne Elizabeth Anderson, Bachelor of History, Arts in History. Jenna Grace Boltzman, Bachelor of Arts in History, magna cum laude, for her thesis, Mary's Tudor, England's Most Misunderstood Sovereign. Elia Iris Bono, Bachelor of Arts in History, magna cum laude with distinction for her thesis, Challenging Celibacy, the Lollard Critique of Clerical Celibacy. Allison Faith Bosworth, Bachelor of Arts in History with distinction. Sadie Alveda Bregi, Bachelor of Arts in History with distinction. William Brockett, Bachelor of Arts in History. Caleb J. Cheyette, Bachelor of Arts in History. James Owen Caldwell, Bachelor of Arts in History. Six Crotty, Bachelor of Arts in History. Matthew Albert Dole, Bachelor of Arts in History. Colin John Ferguson, Bachelor of Arts in History. Wilson John Georges, Bachelor of Arts in History, magna cum laude for his thesis, Neoliberalism in Higher Education, the History of Neoliberalism's Influence on Universities and Athletic Departments. Junjae Marie Han, Bachelor of Arts in History with distinction. Haven Alexander Harris, Bachelor of Arts in History. Liam David Johnson, Bachelor of Arts in History. Benjamin Robert Jonas, Bachelor of Arts in History. Sophie Faye Kleppner, Bachelor of Arts in History, magna cum laude with distinction for their thesis, Your Majesty's Most Humble Slave and Dog, the Duke of Buckingham, and the Spanish March. Garrett Matthew Lang, Bachelor of Arts in History. Mason Oliver Lever, Bachelor of Arts in History. Georgia Ann Marsh, Bachelor of Arts in History with distinction. Samuel Allen McLaughlin, Bachelor of Arts in History. Zachary Irving Morgenstein, Bachelor of Arts in History. Talia Lily Pesky, Bachelor of Arts in History, summa cum laude with distinction for their honors thesis, Women's Voices in a Time of Change, the Evolution of Feminist Consciousness Raising from Barnard College to Adulthood. Ethan Ripple, Bachelor of Arts in History. Samuel Isaac Rizzo, Bachelor of Arts in History. Alexander Noel Rodriguez, Bachelor of Arts in History. Daniel Philip Salon, Bachelor of Arts in History with distinction. Evan Scheibly, Bachelor of Arts in History. Lillian Martha Schultz, Bachelor of Arts in History with distinction. James Banyan Sneed, Bachelor of Arts in History. Ari Ware Snyder, Bachelor of Arts in History, cum laude for their thesis driven by identity, investigating the origins of American car culture and the modern landscape 1895 to 1920. Emma J.C. Marie Samori, Bachelor of Arts in History. Bryce Michael Stacy, Bachelor of Arts in History with distinction. Catherine Anna Stouter, Bachelor of Arts in History. Emily Marcella Carter Tunison, Bachelor of Arts in History. Emma Hope Waggett, Bachelor of Arts in History with distinction. Jack Elliott Wheeler, Bachelor of Arts in History. Wyatt Charles Zebley, Bachelor of Arts in History. Dakota Sky Manna, minor in History. Okay, let's give them all one final round of applause.
Been wonderful, thank you. I love Commencement. Thank you all for making it happen, and congratulations to the graduates. Just a quick logistical issues. We will have a lovely reception at the top. We'll be very happy to please join us for hugs and hellos, along with beverages and cookies. Again, if you need some assistance, find someone in one of the black t-shirts who can help direct you. Please do wait for the graduates and the faculty to recess back up to the platform and then join us there. Thank you everyone, and congratulations, graduates.